100 knots. Drop signal.
Hello, listeners. This is WKNC if you're just tuning in. I am DJ Sparrow.
And I'm DJ What's Her Face.
You were just listening to Pet Carrot by Pale Hound, and before that, Jane Pollock by Punching Jackie.
And before that, we had Holy Forest by Pink Shiny Ultra Blast. That's all one word.
No spaces. Pink Shiny Ultra Blast.
I've got several great requests in the past couple of minutes that I'm trying to fit into this very tight schedule this hour. And if you haven't caught on, I'm playing all songs by artists that start with the letter M.
But yeah, up next we're going to be listening to The Estrangers. Then after that, we're going to be listening to a Love Language cover of an Estrangers song. So.
Well, actually, it's a Body Games cover.
Body Games, my bad.
The Windover, NC State's Public Avenue for Inner Expression, has partnered with WKNC's Eye on the Triangle to allow all of state students an opportunity. And so obviously when we're recording, we get to breathe.
Nah, dude, the one read life is how
that's,
you gotta do it.
He does them all in one read. I'm like, this needs to be broken up. I recently transferred over to NC State, and before that, me and my brother, we would always be driving around, and we would listen to 88.1, and we'd hear the DJs and be like, man, this is stuff that we already listen to. Like, what if we were on there?
Well, I would say WKNC is more pressingly unique in its sound. The music that you hear on different radio stations, especially in this area, is usually going to be top 40, or there's like a classical station, or there's a station that's dedicated to just hip-hop and R&B.
Most of it is commercial stations, which are, they've got their place, but they tend to get really boring really quick. KNC we're constantly adding new music. We're constantly adding new DJs and personalities to the mix.
Yeah, we play like new music, actual new music, not top 40s, they'll say new music, whatever, it's like a year old.
If you're looking to discover new music that you may not even thought you knew about, any kind of college station, not just KNC, is your place to go, honestly. But I think KNC does it better than the rest.
Because stuff will come in and you'll be like, oh, this is pretty big. Of course we're gonna play it, but of course, if you listen to this CD and you have no expectations of what you're gonna hear, and it sounds great and you want it to be on air, that's pretty cool.
To me, and one of the reasons that I'm in radio, is to be able to share music. It's wonderful to hear a song and then be able to play it for a group of people, whether it's 10 people listening or 100 people listening or 1,000 people listening.
Yeah, the main thing is making sure that other people don't get in your way when you're trying to film them, like other cameramen. And it's hard because you all are on the same side of the wall, and getting the windows lighting correct with each of the cameras, make sure everyone's kind of filming in the same style.
All of this furniture gets moved out. The drummer's here, and so the one that we just had, bassist was there, and then the two guitarists were here. And then I was right up on the couch because it was standing right.
We'll have bands come in and we'll videotape the performances and then do a really nice edit of everything and post it out online.
And so the shots that you see underneath them and stuff will be somebody actually went underneath them.
Usually I'll check out what type of band it is to make sure the music goes along with it, but we'll go with
I'd say one of the biggest things that set us apart is we are 95% self-funded. I know some of the other stations in the area get most, if not all, of their funding either from their university or grants that their community has out there for them.
Which is just cool. You feel that much more responsibility working here, the point that we're trying to do it by ourselves, which I think makes it cool. It's less like just being babysat and being able to mess with the radio, more managing something like Matt, the GM, like he's managing a radio station. Like it's not just some like project because you're in school. Like it's an actual business, and so that makes it really cool.
You know, we're really lucky to have we don't have a lot of funding, but we do have our fundraiser once a year, which makes good money-ish. It makes enough money to keep us running, and we just have a very strong student support. Everyone really cares about the station, and I think it takes that passion that everyone has to keep something like this going.
In a way, you know, it puts a lot of pressure on us to try to raise money, but it also pushes us a lot more to try to be creative and kind of step out of the normal box of radio in order to promote ourselves.
We like to say that we're more like a business than a college station. There's kind of two schools of thought for college radio. There's like the free form, like every DJ comes in and does whatever they want. You know, they play hip hop and then follow it with, you know, metal, rock, whatever.
Yeah, I guess another thing that really kind of sets us apart is that we have what's called block formatting. So each there's throughout the week there's a preset schedule, and each time period has a genre associated to it.
So we have music blocks, and we have specialty shows on weekends, which can be really, really interesting. But really the biggest thing that sets us apart from other radio stations is our dedication to local music. A lot of
WKNC.
I mean, there's sometimes a stigma about local music unless you work in the radio station. People who don't know a lot about local music will be kind of like, oh, they're local, they're probably just eh.
Raleigh does have like a fantastic local scene, the Triangle area in general. NC State also has like a lot of bands come from NC State, so you'll see like, I don't want to say any names.
Some local bands that I think are gonna get big, like my prediction, probably be Ghost Blonde. They've got a pretty great stage presence every time I go to one of their shows. It's always a lot of fun.
Loneliness, lighting caverns, my chest, I can't guide.
We're still Museum Mouth. The song is called Drool.
Anyone can go to a Spotify or a Pandora and find what's considered college music and college radio. But when you're connected to the local community, whether it's Raleigh, North Carolina, whether it's Austin, Texas, or Seattle, Washington, or Nashville, Tennessee, and really go into your community and see your DJs at local shows and just see the relationship forming between the local music scene and the local college radio station, it's wonderful to watch.
The DJs who are here, like, they dedicate a lot of time, and we actually like pick all of the music, we get all that the songs, and we're like really what's the word, exclusive, maybe not exclusive, but we spend a lot of time and we only pick the best stuff.
In a general sense, I mean, we're not like looking at we're not gonna like look at a cover and be like, terrible, throw it away. But I mean, you can tell, like, we like professionalism a lot.
I guess stuff that just kind of, I don't know how to express it, just like bands that write about real things, you know, and they're not writing for money or they're not writing for a good hit. They're just like writing about how they feel, and like it doesn't have to be recorded. They don't have to set up their money and record it in a high-dollar studio. They can record it on their iPhone in their bedroom, and I think that's just awesome. And I think my favorite music comes from bands who like just do it on their own.
Our goal is to introduce new music to our listeners, so we really make an effort to search for different types of artists and kind of get different music playing on the airways so that, you know, up and coming artists have a reason to do what they do and, you know, be bands that probably aren't as popular as, you know, the pop artists that are, you know, making all the money these days.
I wake up early every single morning. Sometimes when I do, you're right beside me, lightly snoring. I get my book out and read through a story, pretty sure without you near me it seemed boring.
Last fall, I led a team of 4 other people from WKNC, and we made a submission to the NC State Library's Code Art competition. So they were holding a competition for generative art pieces, art that changes over time and is usually data-driven. And so we kind of took the natural, you know, data source that we had here, and that was our internet radio stream. And so we made visuals that react and change to the actual music that we're playing. We represent all this by having the Raleigh skyline represented along the bottom, and then we have some prominent buildings along Raleigh, so like DHL, which is the NC State Library, or the PNC building, the Clarion, or the BBT building, and we draw their windows, and we like light up their windows in the same way you can imagine like kind of frequency bars you might see on your like little radio player.
So yeah, it's really kind of hard to try and put, you know, some type of a catch-all of, you know, saying, oh, everyone at KNC is fiercely independent, but, well, actually that might be, and most people at KNC have pretty strong opinions about music and tend to be able to, you know, think outside the box and like exploring kind of their own paths.
Right now I'm in engineering, trying to transfer to business, and then I'm actually just trying to get into design school, but kind of need a plan B for that.
I'm studying psychology, so it doesn't really have anything to do with any of this. But I just love music, man, and it's so cool to be a part of WKNC because you can like get music early, you know, and you have all the CDs there.
So I also work at University Recreation with Outdoor Adventures. So I lead trips. I get paid to take people outside. It's awesome. And right now for the summer, I'm interning at Kellogg, like the cereal company. I work at a Cheez-It plant. Nobody ever believes me when I say that. They always think I'm kidding at first.
Well, I like how we're all from different backgrounds. Some college stations, like Appalachians, for instance, all their DJs are communications majors. That's a requirement for being a part of their station. And here, the only requirement is that you're a student at NC State. So I'm friends with a bunch of engineers, communications majors, biology majors. So I think that offers a lot of great background, and like my friend group is like so diverse now because of all the people who work here.
Some DJs will just come in and you know, just do their shift, and maybe they meet the people who DJ before them or after them. But if you really get involved and start putting the hours in, you start meeting the other people who are around here a lot, and you start going to shows with them, and you start really bonding with them. And a lot of my good friends outside of my major, which is computer science, has come from the radio station because we just share this kind of central love of music.
So my freshman year, I joined up with the station. That was one of the very first things I did when I came to school here at State. As I went out, I found KNC at orientation. I was like, oh my God, I love KNC. I've listened to it all throughout high school. How do I get more involved? And they were like, okay, you should just drop by sometime. And so I kind of started slowly doing that. And so I got into the DJ training class my first semester here as a freshman, and I kind of went through that. And then I got involved with a lot of the production side of stuff. So I was coming up with the crazy liners and sweepers and all the goofy promos and stuff.
when I first started out, though, I just wanted to be a graphic designer. I didn't want to DJ at all, just because I'm really scared of, like, talking on air, I guess, and was worried about, like, picking out music and stuff, just because, I don't know, a lot of people have it, like, really easy, like, they just can play whatever, and it's always pretty good, but I have to plan my sets, like, for hours before I can put anything on air. Like, I'm really scared about it, but I did start DJing, like, immediately, and I really liked it, and I'm glad that I did it. And I stayed with it just because everyone here reminds me of the way it was in high school when I worked at the yearbook and newspaper there, where they're all just really inclusive, and it's like some experience that you don't get out of just like normal college classes.
It's another option for college, because usually in college there's like go out and party, whatever, and then we like offer something else, like maybe come to a show or do something else that's maybe a little bit better and more interesting in my perspective.
Hey, do you like WKNC?
Like WKNC? Like as a friend?
No, I mean like WKNC. On Facebook?
Oh, I guess I never thought about WKNC that way. Why?
Well, when you like WKNC on Facebook, you'll know when all the cool things that WKNC is involved in happen, like the music movie night and Fridays on the Lawn.
Isn't that like stalking?
No, but if you think Facebook is too direct, then you could follow them on Twitter instead at WKNC881.
Wow, I never knew WKNC was so available.
Right? Go ahead, girl. Like WKNC. Don't hide your feelings for them.
You're right. I'm gonna tell WKNC how I feel today by hitting them up on Facebook and Twitter.
I'm sure I have. Oh, okay. So when I first came in and started working at the station, like one of my first goals, we've got a Tetris machine in the very back lounge, and it had been broken for like 4 years or something like that, or maybe even more. No one around the station could remember the last time it had worked. And so I made it one of my first goals to get the Tetris machine working again. And so my freshman year, there were several nights, I think I spent most of the winter coming in here at the night when no one would fuss at me, and modifying it and changing things and, you know, adopting things and ripping things out. And eventually, at the very end of that semester, I got it up and running again. So now we have the Tetris machine.
What actually inspired me to be in the media field is when I was a little girl, we didn't have cable, so my little brother and I would turn the antenna on our house, and if we turned it just so, we could catch Channel 8 out of Wingham, Ontario. We were from the thumb of Michigan, and we would watch WWF Superstars, back when it was still WWF, not WWE, and we would watch it every Saturday, and Jesse the Body Ventura was actually one of the commentators, and the little name that came up was broadcast journalist, and I was like, that's what I want to be. I want to be a broadcast journalist like Jesse Ventura. So it was really a very interesting way that I got interested in media, in radio and television. I wanted to initially co-host the CBS Evening News like Connie Chung. She was one of my idols. But as I got older, I realized, who needs pictures? Radio is perfect the way it is.
I was at doing my interviews, and someone called the radio station, and I thought it was for a request or something. I picked up the phone, and they were like, hey, so we found this flyer. Do we get a reward? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And these people up in Pennsylvania, they were from Pennsylvania. It was these 3 high schoolers or something. And they filmed, it's some place where people party in the middle of the woods on this bridge, in the middle of nowhere, apparently. And there were flyers just posted everywhere that said, have you seen this CD? $1,000 award, call this number. And it had our phone number on it. They added me on Snapchat so they could send me the scene, but there's this big party going on with our posters everywhere, these tiny flyers, and I have no idea where they came from or how old they were, but that was weird. But we're everywhere, I guess.
this cannot be. Thawing truce, no, this cannot be. I look out between the blinds to see. Thawing truce, no, this cannot be. Thawing truce, no, this cannot be. I look in between outside and inside to see.